Andy, thank you very much. So often in Mosconi Cup history,
Team Europe
Shane Van Boening has been a linchpin for the USA. He's in a linchpin role here. Let me tell you, if Ouschan can win this, a 4-1 lead overnight for Europe, that would make my co-commentator Carl Boyes sleep soundly.
Phil, I have not slept finally for about 6 months. What a crazy start to this year's Cup. Unbelievable. We have had everything and we're only 4 points in.
Well, we had that fluke I've never seen before, the one that Joshua Filler had in the team match. We had the failure to call the push out. We had the shirt of Eklund Kachi touching a ball that turned the opening contest. Everything's happened. It's been, as you say, so unpredictable and compelling viewing.
Yeah, and it's only day one.
Foul shot. Ball in end.
Well, as you see, not the best of break-offs from Albin, and
start the clock, please.
The cue ball has found the pocket, but luckily the one ball has jammed up, so there's going to be some kind of safety shot from SVB. Seems everybody's struggling with the break shot so far on day one. It's usually the case in pro events.
Break-in run-outs have been in very short supply.
Go on, hit me with some stats, Phil. I know you love a stat.
Well, can't tell you precisely how many, but there's been very few. Is that good enough?
You're slacking, Phil. You're slacking.
So what's the mood like in the European team?
It's been fantastic. We've had a lot of fun. We've brought a different dynamic to the team this year, and it's all been nice and relaxed. And of course, when the guys have been practicing at the table, we've expected nothing but 110%. But I must say, watching from the sidelines, it's not easy. So that's all Shane could really do. I think he was trying to take the side rail out somehow, but I mean, it wasn't easy. So it's a pretty simple kick shot for Albin. Big point this for USA, needless to say. Nice speed there from Albin.
Just before we get into this rack in the match, I must ask you about the press conference yesterday. It seemed to me quite edgy. Is that genuine?
Oh yes, it was fireworks for sure. I don't think Joey Exotic is too happy I have took his tiger. Same again here from Shane. The hit on the cue on the one ball was easy, and he played that quite hard to leave the distance, so that was a clever shot there from Shane.
And the leading question all pool fans will want to know, this rivalry between Jason Shaw and Shane Van Boening seems to be quite bitter.
Yeah, and to be honest, Phil, I don't know what's going on. It's all very hush-hush. No one's telling me anything. Yeah, that was a nice shot to hold the one ball there on the top rail and get the distance, so a good safety shot there from Albin. Of course, I'm not going to be biased in this match, Phil.
Well, I think you're allowed to be.
You thought you'd got rid of me, hadn't you, pal?
By the way, the first match tomorrow is the fans' choice match. Now you can vote on who you want to see in that contest until just before play begins at 6:30 tomorrow night. Just go to matchroompool.com, make your choice, and as I said earlier, I would not be surprised if the pool fans on either side of the Atlantic, if they wanted to just to spice it up by getting Van Boening against Shaw, but we will see.
Have you put your vote in, mate?
Don't know whether I'm allowed, but if I did get a vote, it would be for that one, definitely.
You're allowed, Phil. 100%. You can stick your vote in. I mean, of course, you know, it's 3-1 to Europe, and you just sense the urgency from Shane here. It's a massive point, this, especially the way the very first team point went. It was crazy, and it's just been probably the craziest start I've ever seen in a Mosconi Cup.
And let's not forget the third match of the evening, when Chris Robinson just had that surge of adrenaline, out of position on the 8 ball, consequently missed a length of the table double on the 9, and that made an enormous difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy done, to be fair. You know, he played a really, really solid match, did Chris, and you know, it's not nice to see, regardless if you're vice captain or not, you know, a guy just, you know, over at the shot, and you know, it was heartache, it really was. So Albin's slightly under at this, so you know, he needs to be careful here. So much so he's played safe, looking to put the cue ball in behind the 8, which he hasn't done.
And on that subject, I think the other story of the evening has been the speed of this table. Lightning.
Yeah, I mean, every single year we know the Mosconi Cup table is very slick and very fast, but no one's really settled this year. You know, it's unusual settings, there's no crowd, it's, you know, myself and Alex, we're not really sure how to act out there. We don't really want to be dancing around and high-fiving. It's just unusual. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think after day one, regardless of the scoreline, I expect better pool tomorrow, and you know, there'll be no excuses. The guys have had a feel of the arena and the fact that there's no seating and fans. And then you see Eklund, he was involved in a unbelievable match. Yeah, good pot there from Albin. Needs a nice angle here though, just because of where the 7 ball is. Yeah, it looks like he's looking at the bank, so that tells a story. So the bank shot is, and I think he needs to get the cue ball round for the 8. I don't think he can hold the cue ball. And he stunned the cue ball into the 8 and just nudged it nearer that pocket. It's a fantastic shot.
It was a really classy effort, this. He's always been a good banker of a ball, but with position attached, made it all more noteworthy.
And we're seeing trick shots now from Albin. Steady on, son.
Well, that's the shot that Mark Williams has patented in snooker. Mosconi Cup, though. Ooh, against Shane Van Boening. You're taking a risk there. But the risk paid off. Albin Ouschan holding it together well, particularly with the double. Takes a 1-0 lead. Tell you what, this could have left him with egg on his face. Had he miscued there, we wouldn't have stopped talking about that until 2024.
Yeah, that's the type of shot you play in your local boozer, not on Sky Sports, Albin.
I sense a stern word from the vice-captain coming up. Tell you what though, you were making the point that you think tomorrow, and I definitely agree, that the quality of the pool will improve, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the drama will improve. I think when you get a lot of mistakes, it's actually, in many respects, more dramatic.
Yeah, I fully agree. As I said before, nobody's quite settled yet. Nobody in any team has looked, you know, like they've really zoned in and, you know, got used to the surroundings. That's why you just sense, Phil, this is such a huge point. You know, 4-1, 3-2. You know, it's massive leading into day 2.
Well, at the end of the first session
Flanking
last
second
year,
rack.
Europe led 3-2.
USA to break. Trailing
It
by
didn't
1
work
rack
out
to
well
nil.
in the end. A 4-1 lead, though, that is substantial.
Yeah, it is, as you said, you know, 4-1, it just gives you that little bit of breathing space. Obviously, it's only 4-1, it's race to 11, but just means when you're coming out for your matches, you kind of like just, the heat comes off you, and there you see, as we've said about the break shot, no one's figured this break out yet, and SVB is regarded as the best breaker in the world of pool, and he elected to go down the middle with pace, and you know, nothing's gone in. Seen it a few times. One of the balls is jamming up against the other, and there's the green 6. Kind of like it when it's like this though, Phil. You know, you get to see the brain of the, you know, the pool player and the safety aspect and all the things that make pool great. And there you see another missed pot. There's been a lot of missed pots today. That is purely down to the fact that nobody's hit like their A game yet. I would see out both teams. Jason's the one that's settled in fairly quickly. I mean, he's missed this by a long way. But what he has done is just nudged the green 6 out, so it's kind of opened up a little bit. Because at some point there could be a combo there, but he's been a little bit fortunate with the leave as well.
I know you're in a position of responsibility, Carl, so maybe you'll hold back on this, but in my opinion, this has been one of the lowest standard sessions in terms of missed pots I've ever seen in the Mosconi Cup.
Lovely shot there from SVB. That was intended. You could see him lining that up. Great shot maker. Yeah, as you were saying there, Phil, you know, the standard, you know, whether you're vice captain or you're sat on your sofa at home, it started off pretty poor, but, you know, I'm just putting that down to the pure fact of, you know, the arena and the fact that there's no fans, and, you know, we're sat on one side of the arena and Team USA on the other, and we're all a bit like, well, do we shout, do we cheer, do we just sit here and be quiet?
Well, after the 3 ball is deposited, it's going to be more imagination required from Shane van Boening. Not the easiest of tables to run out, but you wouldn't put anything past him.
Yeah, I mean, all he's got to do is make sure he gets good on the purple 5. Just a nice angle, because, as I said before, when Albin missed the 1 ball, he just flicked the 9, which moved the green 6 into this chance of an easy combo.
Yeah, it's all about the shot. If he drops in behind the 6, it's lights out.
And that's perfect. One thing you will get from Shane is a lot of heart and a lot of will to win. He knows how big this point is for his team.
USA equalise. Don't know whether you saw there in the background, Jeremy Jones chewing away at his fingernails. That's what this tournament does for you. And of course, Carl, being in that role now of vice-captain and being essentially powerless once the guys are out on the table, it must be a really strange feeling.
Yeah, I've been asked this question before, Phil, and it's obviously I've played, I've had the joy of sitting next to yourself in comms and kind of being, just in the middle and enjoying the cup. But what I have noticed, when you're involved and you're not playing and you want the lads to win, it's a surreal feeling, and it's a little bit like taking your son to a football match and watching him play. You're just praying he has a good game.
Been talking about the standard so far tonight, and I think another reason that it's not been what we've come to expect over the years in top level pool is because basically, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, international pool has been put on hold. We had the Texas Open a few weeks ago in Round Rock. Apart from that, it's been all quiet.
You're to break. 1 rack each.
Getting back into the swing of things, even for world-class competitors, is not easy after an extended layoff.
Yeah, you're right, Phil. And not only that, it's the sheer fact of the way the guys at Matchroom build this event up with the press conference and all the media work we've got to do now leading up to the event. It just adds that extra little spice to the event. So he's made a ball, but he's hooked on the blue too, so he will be pushing out.
We've seen a preponderance of dry breaks quite often. When the one ball has gone in, something like this has occurred where the 2 does not play ball.
Push out called.
So for any newbies watching at home, after the break shot you can always elect to play a push, but you must remember your opponent can put you back in. There's the steely face of Shane Van Boening, 5-time US Open champion, Phil. 5 US Opens in 10 years. That is some achievement.
It's always been an absolutely phenomenal event, the US Open. But now that Matchroom Sport have taken over its running and its promotion, in years to come, it will become
Start the clock, please.
Immense.
So he's had a look at the 2, but that looked very tight past the 9. I think Albin's going to play thin off the edge of it and just try and get the 2 near the bottom rail, kind of where that diamond is just below the 9.
Foul shot.
Or
Ball
he's going to hit it thick and scratch. Mistake there from Albin.
Start the clock, please.
That was a complete misjudgment.
So much so, it went into the pocket, the cue ball, without touching the sides.
Yeah, Shane's got a little bit of work to do here because the red 3
Extension
you know,
call.
it doesn't go in a clear pocket. Now, he can play the 3 onto the 5, but you'd want to be close to that. So he's just looking around at coming up where he's just kind of put his cue. Yeah, which, looking at the overhead camera, the red 3 will go in the right centre pocket. So pace is key, and line. And line is going near the 6. The line was key, and he has been very fortunate there. That's just the fact that the table is brand new and the slide off the rail has not come up as square as he would have liked.
It was the 6-9 combination in the previous rack. This just looks like a routine run-out.
Having seen Shane played in many Mosconis and many tournaments and played him many times, he's the type of player where when he relaxes and gets that little lead, he's such a great front runner. But if he can keep the heat on, especially in the Mosconi, we have seen him make mistakes, and Albin will know this. And where's the cue ball? Phil, where is the cue ball? I think he's full ball hooked here. Can he see an edge? It was that shot where, you know, when he had ball in hand and just puts that bit of doubt in your mind. That is a real poor shot there from Shane. Can he see an edge of this ball? I think he can, so he's playing the pot. And he's missed it. More mistakes, Phil, and more drama in the 2020 Mosconi Cup.
He seemed to have quite a fierce bounce, I thought, off the second cushion there, and that really scuppered him. What a let-off for Ouschan.
Yeah, and you know, this is over the pocket. This can always be a little funky shot, this, just where the cue ball bounces off. You see it there, just slide across, and he's landed on the 50-yard line. The worst place you could land.
Extension call, please.
So this rack is not over yet.
The importance of the shot underlined by the fact that Ouschan is taking advantage of his 30-second extension. 30-second shot clock every single rack. Both players or both doubles teams have the option to take 1 30-second breather, as it were.
Yeah, and you just, you know, the way this first day has gone, you kind of don't fancy this. But the champion, Albin, he pots it, but he's not really played the cue ball with conviction. So he's left himself a tricky 9-ball. This is thin, very thin.
And would you believe he overcuts it, leaving the most simple 9-ball imaginable. Well, the pendulum tonight has been so busy. It swung one way and then the other. These mistakes, these incidents, just keep on piling up. And predicting this, well, it's nigh on impossible. 2-1. It should have been the reverse. I could see him missing that, obviously with the difficulty of the pot, Carl, but very surprised he overcut it.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of just tell the way day one's gone. No one's, you know, I've said this a few times now, no one's looked sharp in either side, so you kind of just weren't shocked. You know, I've been out in the arena 4 times, I've played, and, you know, I've played in a lot of pool tournaments, and when you don't feel sharp, it's a very lonely place.
And for all of his individual glory, Shane Van Boening, and he's got plenty of it, he hasn't got a winning record, you know, overall in the Mosconi Cup. He's played 81 matches. Before this evening, this is 136, lost 45. As for Albin Ouschan,
Thank you. It's the
a considerably better record.
To break. Leading by
over
2
a smaller
racks
amount
to
of matches, of course.
I mean, let's be honest, Phil, this match was never going to go plain sailing, was it, at this point? And there we see another dry break. And this is kind of what you want from you know, when you're playing pool, whether it's in the Mosconi or, you know, in a regular singles event. When you make a mistake, there's actually nothing better than coming to the table with an opportunity like this. It just gives you a chance to, you know, kind of get your head back in the game and shake off them little nerves.
Well, normally he would clear up here blindfolded, but this session and the Mosconi Cup in general is not normal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure out there, Phil, at the end of the day, and, you know, we've seen a fair few mistakes today, so it's not going to get any easier. Clever shot there, using the draw spin on the cue ball there to make both balls, so he didn't have to play a funky shot from the 2 to the 4.
Extension, please.
Can't quite see if the green 6 passes the 9 ball. I mean, the 9, you know, is near the pocket, but it's not the easiest of combos. Is he going to try and move the 6? I think that's what he tried, you know. Tried to play into it, knowing that the 5's over the top right pocket.
Well, the 6-9 combination that Van Boening parlayed into winning the second rack was pretty straightforward. Bread and butter. This 6-9, it would require a lot more accuracy.
There you see Albin look away. He was playing for the combo, but I just sense that it's not a bad thing that he's not got on the combo. He's actually come quite nice on the bank shot. Well, he's looking at the combo. You could just see where he pointed his cue stick. He's trying to get the cue ball up near towards the 8 ball. I mean, the bank is not a bad option, but he's playing the combo. And he's made the combo. Great shot, and just in case, the cue ball was near the 8. Great shot from Albin there.
Wasn't it just? And again, I'll use the word pendulum. It swung once more. We were talking earlier, Carl, myself and Alison Fisher, saying the only thing we can say about the pattern of this match so far is that there hasn't been one. It's one way and then the other.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that combo he's played there is a fantastic shot. That was not easy at all.
I actually underplayed Albin Ouschan's Mosconi Cup record in between the previous two racks. It is remarkable. Made his debut in 2015, and with that doubles win, together with Jason Shaw, that he had over Woodward and Thorpe in the match before this, he's now played in 10 doubles matches and won 8 of them. And his singles record, played 5, won 4.
That's why the captain's picked him, pal.
So basically, 18 matches played, 14 won. Now, in this environment, that's a remarkable strike rate.
Yeah, I mean, he brings such a calming vibe to the team, does Albin. You know, he's a funny guy. He's a good-looking guy and all, you know. He's a handsome chap, and, you know, he brings a lot to Team Europe.
Thank you, the 5th break. Europe to break. 2 each.
And he's also got lots of experience now, 30 years of age, from Klagenfurt in Austria. And the Mosconi Cup MVP 4 years ago.
Now let's have a look at this break. No one's figured the break shot out yet. The one ball's going close and the one ball's gone in. And he has a shot at the 2. The 3 ball is over on the left side of the table.
Tell you what, the European captain Alex Laley, who we've done many hours of commentary together with, he's living every single ball. The expressions on his face all night have been sometimes pained, sometimes joyous.
I know the feeling. Now this is a great chance, this. It is a great chance. All the balls are there. Just, you know, keep yourself cool. Believe in your cue action. You know, Phil, when the balls are sitting like this, they're all open, and it's a case of just controlling that cue ball. These are the type of racks, you know, you've got to knock in. Yeah, and I think he wasn't quite happy with the way he cued that one. It went in a little bit fat, but, you know, the table's brand new, and we always kind of say aim towards that side of the pocket because you know it's going to slide in. Not quite got into the cue ball there. He wanted to be another 2 or 3 balls over to make this sort of shot a straight shot, so he weren't cannoning into the 8 ball. And he's caused a mistake, Albin.
Let's not beat about the bush, that was a bad shot.
Yeah, it was just purely down to the fact of he didn't get straight on the 6. If he was straight on the 6 there, he could play a stop shot, and it meant he just had to kill it. I mean, don't get me wrong, at this level, you know, it's a hanger, but
Extension called.
you just know they're struggling. They really are. One thing's for certain, Phil, we'll be glad to see the back of day 1. But this is a massive kick shot now for USA. He's got to draw this to change the angle. He's going to like curve it under the 9, and he's missed it. That was the problem. On a brand new table, that shot is really hard. You know, on a table where the cloth's a month or 2 old, you can really get that cue ball drawing, you know, underneath. You have to get that cue ball curving. So it has to be said, that is a big role for Team Europe.
And with ball in hand, if Ouschan doesn't clear up here, he would be inconsolable. It's unforgivable if he doesn't.
Well, if he doesn't clear up here, you might be doing the rest of this match on your own, mate. The drama continues. This 9-ball for a 3-2 lead to Albin. You just know there's a lot more pool left in this match.
It really is one of those evenings, one of those sessions where you can take nothing for granted. These are the world's best, but they have been prone to mistakes right from the very beginning. How will this twist? How will this turn? We'll see. Right now, Ouschan 3-2 in front. The frightening thing is that for all of the mistakes that everyone's made, if Ouschan, who's mixed excellence with blunders like that, if Ouschan can win this match, it would be an absolutely phenomenal day in terms of the scoreboard for Europe.
Phil, you'll be a busy boy tonight writing down all these stats, won't you? You'll be hitting us with some stats tomorrow. You know, I mean, Albin were fortunate to
The 6th rack. Use at your break. Trailing by 3 racks to 2.
but it's only 3-2 this match. There's been a lot of drama so far, and it's only 3-2. And he's made the 1-ball, and this looks like he's going to sit up. Oh, it's out lovely for SVB there. He's got a nice shot here on the red 3, so this is a good chance to tie the match up.
At this level, in this kind of situation, you can mentally give someone a rack. But the way things have gone tonight, I'm loath to do so.
Yeah, we've seen Shane struggle with speed on a couple of shots, so the cue ball will be travelling here. That was a lot better though, that's pretty good. He doesn't look too happy with it, but I think when he comes round and he sees the shot from this end, he'll be okay with this. Shane's just getting the cue ball clean, making sure he doesn't get any bad contact on this 8 ball.
Extension called. Why did that stop?
This match is tied at 3-3.
Thank you.
And anyone's guess who is going to prevail, let me tell you. Best of 9 has been reduced to a best of 3.
Did that stop, did it? Yeah.
Ouschan knows it really would be an important scalp to gain. Shane van Boening is the oldest player on either side by some distance. 37 years of age now, from South Dakota. Carl mentioned his 5 US Open triumphs. He's also won the World Tour Masters on a couple of occasions, played beautifully to do so. But you know, in certain Mosconi Cups down the years, he's had a torrid time. Let me tell you his record in 3 in particular. 2013, 1 win, 6 defeats. 2016, drew a blank. 2017, again, horror story. But in the last 2 years, his fortunes have vastly improved. He was 6-2 last year. And you have to think that's the reason why USA fortunes in general have also improved.
Yeah, and the fact Skyler's decided to show up and, you know, play the way he can, and Billy Thorpe, you know, brings the energy to the team. And let's not forget Johan, when he was asked to be captain of Team USA, and he took that role, and he wanted to try and build Team USA into a team. That's what he did, and
the 7th rack.
he's played a big
You have
part.
to break.
So Albin will be breaking
3 exit.
in the 7th rack, and it's always nice if you can get on the hill and be the first person to the hill. Cue ball's being kicked. Can he chop this 2 ball in? I think he can, but it's thin.
And I always feel that when you're feeling it, you're under pressure, thin cuts of this nature are always one of the most difficult type of shots to pull off.
Well, I'll tell you what, Phil, I was terrible at these shots. I used to hit it really thick or completely miss it and give ball in hand. I just couldn't see the shot, but I think Albin is pretty good at these shots, you know. Certain players just seem to have the knack of this shot. Let's hope Albin's one of them. This is a big shot because all the balls are sat there. This is key shot coming up. He's played it nice. He needs a generous roll here. He needs a generous roll. Is that okay, Phil? Does the 3 pass? Can he play a combo?
The body language would suggest he's not too perturbed.
I think he can play the combo, and then the 3 ball will just roll down the rail, just like that. That's pretty good. Well, it's really good. It's not pretty good, it's really good.
Extension called.
Now he does have an angle, but he's not going to get the cue ball too far over, because he would have to hit that really hard. So just make sure you pot the ball and give yourself a nice angle. He's looking up to the gods. He's got into the cue ball too much there. He's still all right, but he's ended up putting a bit of draw on that, so the cue ball's come a little higher. This is just a case of potting the ball. The cue ball will come off 2 rails back into the middle of the table. Well, he's gone off 3 rails. And I tell you what, that is lovely. Great shot. There you see Killer Filler sweating the action. Yeah, he's got a nice angle there. That couldn't have finished better. So a break and run couldn't have come at a better time for Albin Ouschan and Team Europe. He gets to the hill first with this 9-ball, of course, Phil.
Yes, he did leave one 9-ball hanging, but he's not going to miss this one, surely. Safely in, and Shane van Boening.
Overnight. One team will go to bed.
The 8th frag.
Really, really
USA
happy.
to break. Trailing 4-3.
And even if Van Boening does force a decider, it's Ouschan to break in that.
Well, what a break this is. What a break at 4-3 down. He's made the one in the side, which is intended, so are we seeing the players starting to figure the break shot out, and he's straight in on the 2-ball, so this is a wonderful opportunity for Hill.
And if it does go all the way, no one would be surprised. It's been a very competitive evening. The widest margin of victory. We've seen a couple of 5-2s. We've had one 5-3. The other singles went to the wire. 5-4 to Kachi over Chris Robinson. And now it really does look as though this is going the distance as well.
Yeah, it was a very generous split, but it's probably a fair result for this match to go Hill. Needs to make sure he gets this cue ball out and gets it high for the 7. Yeah, and he has done. The worst thing he could do there is he's landed low. I know the cue ball's gone on the rail, but he would much prefer it there because he's got a natural angle just when he pockets this ball. The cue ball's coming down lovely for the 9 ball.
Shane van Boening does not miss 9 balls of this nature. Fittingly, unsurprisingly, as Shane van Boening exhales, it is 4 racks apiece. 1 more to decide the whole timber of the first day. If it's 3-2, well, nothing in it. If Europe can go to bed 4-1 ahead, the USA, the defending Mosconi Cup champions, will have something of a headache.
Yeah, it was a good break off. He was playing the 1 ball in the side there off the break. That's usually what the guys do try and figure out and do, and he did, and it was a generous split, and it has put day 1 on a knife edge. As you said, Phil, 4-1 or 3-2. This is a huge rack.
If you believe in omens, what about this one? The last time that Europe won the Mosconi Cup was in 2017. At the end of the first day, they led 4-1. Will history repeat itself?
I mean, 4-1 would be lovely, I won't lie, but the way the night's gone, 3-2 would have sat pretty as well, but just, you know, obviously we're in the comms box and we're right next to the table, and this is a huge rack coming up now. What will happen on this break shot? So Shane broke from the other side. Albin usually breaks from the left, so I don't blame him for doing that. It's his favourable side. Needs a ball on the break. And he's not made a ball on the break. And Shane is on the 1 ball, and the balls are all open. There's no traffic, nothing's covering one another.
Cruel for Team Europe. Potential manna from heaven for the USA.
Of course, he's going to be feeling the heat. A little bit of a key shot coming up here. He needs to get nice on the 3 ball, because he's got to get from that red 3 up table for the pink 4. So he's going to be potting this and going just below the 8 ball off the right hand side rail and coming back over to kind of where he stood, that side of the table. Be happy with that. He's got an angle now. Well, he's having a smile, so he knows better than us. I think he's okay there, Phil, surely.
He's got room for manoeuvre, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he can just pop this ball and kind of stun the cue ball up towards the middle of the table. This is key shot coming up now. If he gets the right angle on the green 6 after this shot, it's rack and match over. And it will be 3-2 overnight. Key shot coming up. Anywhere in the middle of the table off this shot would be good. Yeah, and that's fine. He'll be happy with that.
And this is where being in the pressure cooker so often in big money matches as an individual will stand him in really good stead.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Mosconi Cup. He
Next
knows
action,
the importance of this rack. I'm just wondering, is he going to stun this in and try and come below the 8 to play the 7 in the bottom left corner? He is playing that shot. I didn't know if he'd play it high. Yeah, that's perfect.
Just had the presence of mind there to take his extension, the extra 30 seconds, settle himself down.
He's held himself together well in this rack. Huge pressure. And this simple 9-ball. And day one will finish 3-2 to Europe. On reflection, probably a fair result.
For the Americans, everyone knows Shane van Boening is the big man on the Mosconi Cup campus.